Okay, let's make a start. So thank you very much for attending. In today's session, we're going to cover the integration of contact centers with CRM systems and the enhancements, the benefits that that can bring. And we'll touch upon how you might do that. I think if you're attending this call, it's very likely you've got a contact center and you may well have a CRM solution. And this can open up some new possibilities for you if you integrate those two systems together. Certain benefits that can be gained. As always in the contact center space, we're looking to improve efficiency and productivity. And if by integrating these two business applications that you're using, the contact center and the CRM solution, you can achieve productivity enhancements and to boot, improving agent satisfaction and maybe user satisfaction as well. That's a very attractive thing to be considering. So that's what we're going to cover in today's session. And finally, towards the end, I'll wrap up with a bit of a walkthrough of a real life example of integrating a contact center with a CRM system. But we should really introduce ourselves. So first of all, myself, my name's Gavin Stewart. I work for VCC Live as a channel sales manager. And I've been in this business for 20 plus years, working for on-premise type vendors and cloud vendors, and over the last year, working for VCC Live. So we're fortunate today also to be joined by Danny.
Hi, thank you, Gavin. Hi, everyone. My name is Daniel Chevera, and I work for VCC, of course, as a business development manager. I've been around call center since 2001. For 10 years, I was at the user side, and in the last 13 years on the provider or developer side. Okay, so as Gavin mentioned earlier at the beginning, why is it important, or what can you gain from integrating your CC software with your CRM or ERP? Of course, there are cases when you work, or your agents or your colleagues work in a CRM all day long, especially the B2B business, because it requires much more time to be prepared for one call, and in a CRM you can get more data from your clients, or more detailed client history. Of course, if you use separate applications or separate softwares or solutions or tools, it might sound just a slight thing, but if you have to always switch between these tabs, it causes a break in the focus, and it breaks the flow of the work, and it causes time lost also and distraction. So if you integrate these two solutions, you can keep yourself or your colleagues from this, and also you work in just one environment, and it's much more comfortable, and also your clients can feel this when they talk with your agents. So if we move along, then I would like to ask you to help us with a small vote. As a magician, I would like to involve the audience. Please, with the emojis, give us a feedback if you are if your solutions are integrated or not. What do you think about this? Thank you. Oh, everyone. Okay then. Wonderful. Thank you. Okay. What do you think about this joke? While you're reading, let me share a personal story from my background, from my experience. In the early 2000s, I worked for a major bank in Hungary, and it was owned by a bigger American bank, and we implemented a predictive dialer, and I thought it's cutting edge and the best tool available. And when I started to work at VCC at 2011, I had several discussions. I wouldn't say arguments, I just discussions with my superior regarding the predictive dialer's work, how it works, and what kind of KPIs do I require to set the predictive dialer the best. So it took me about 1.5, maybe 2 months until I understood how it works. And my superior just asked me one question that enlightened me that I was not using a predictive dialer. It was just a power dialer on overdrive. But I thought that it's a predictive dialer, and everyone there thought it's a predictive dialer. So maybe you think that it's integrated the best way, but maybe it isn't. So we can always find better solutions, or we can always improve our processes and our solutions. Okay, I think this matrix is pretty straightforward, but just let me tell you a few sentences about this. As you can see, and I'm pretty sure that you know, with a call center software that is designed, or a contact center software that is designed for client communication on multiple channels, not just a voice channel, but also it can be a chat, social media, email, or even SMS. It was designed for this, so it has to be better than a CRM software. But also the CRM softwares are designed to keep all your data regarding connected to your clients, historical data, and using a CRM system, even your marketing team can build up several projects or campaigns to target different type of clients. But if you integrate the two solutions, you can use the most of it. You can have the best solution that you can have, because you can enjoy the capabilities of both solutions. And why shouldn't we do that? Let's check some features that a collection software can call center software can offer you. First, let's check the outbound activities. Of course, there are overlaps for outbound and inbound as well. So, for example, the quality management and the whisper mode are also important for the outbound and the inbound as well as the real-time statistics. But most CRM softwares cannot offer a predictive dialer. I'm pretty sure that it's just most of the time it's a click-to-call solution. So the real-time statistics, I'm not aware that any CRM software has this capability where your supervisor or your call center managers can always check that what's happening at a given moment, and has the possibility to interact, be it an outbound or an inbound. If you are using just a CRM software, if you use you just have historical data, so you know what happened yesterday, but you cannot interact. And also the monitoring can be really important, because you can have more control over your colleagues or your agents. And also in some cases, especially at the debt collection where I came from, the phone number rotation can be a really, really important tool, because I'm pretty sure that you understand that if you are in debt, you don't want to be called. And as soon as your clients get familiar with your phone number, they won't pick up. So your promise to pay is your collected amount, and your connection ratio is going to drop. Let's check some inbound activities. Maybe you have some kind of a PBX or a virtual PBX, or maybe some CRMs can offer you with an IVR, but it's just a simple IVR, mostly just one level of the IVR. But with a call center software, you are able to create a more complicated IVRs, even self-service ones, or you can include even client identification or skill-based routing. And in this case, for example, one of your agents or your colleagues are better at cross-selling or upselling. Why not route these calls to the best colleague available who can bring us the most value? Also, you can create separated teams in a call center software where they can be totally separated from each other. For example, for different campaigns, for different type of products. And even if you use maybe an in-house call center and an outsource partner as well. In this case, you can give different right to the separated to the outsource partner. And of course, we all know that as a call center, our most precious thing is the database. And I don't want to. I want to keep it as safe as possible, so I don't give the rights to the outsource partner to get access to this database or to the sound files because of the GDPR. They cannot download our sound files. Also, here again the real-time statistics and monitoring I mentioned before. We can have custom metrics. In a CRM, you can have reports and KPIs, of course, but in most cases you have to work with these data after you exported it in an Excel file or in a PDF or whatever. But in a call center software, you have the possibility to create custom metrics, custom KPIs, save them once, and you always get these results immediately. And we all know that in a call center, the supervisor's time is the most expensive. So why not use it for better, for more benefit? Also, quality management is a great tool for inbound and for outbound activities as well, because you can give feedback to your agents, to your colleagues on the fly or after it was recorded. And also the whispering mode I mentioned on the last slide, that it's a great tool for new agents to get trained, because as a supervisor or as a mentor or a more experienced agent or colleague of yours can listen into the conversations that's ongoing and talk to the newly hired agent, and your client won't hear it.
Thanks, Danny. So I'm going to talk now around some of the ways that this could be integrated, and then we'll move into a bit of a walkthrough of an actual integration between the two systems. So to set the scene here, CRM solutions, rather like cloud contact center solutions, they started from an on-prem, perhaps basis, and moved towards the cloud. So I think there's a general trend to move towards the cloud. And I did a webinar maybe a few months ago talking about the cloud contact center aspect, but don't forget that the CRM solutions are also moving to the cloud, and that does offer considerable benefits. So in the CRM space, there's a wide variety of CRMs systems. So from systems suited to huge enterprises, vast enterprises with needs for a lot of complexity. And the reverse of that, there may be systems that are suited to more modest size, the smaller, the mid-sized or the small SME space. So there's a wide variety. A lot of these CRMs are also targeted at certain verticals. So they maybe have a niche CRM or well tailored to cover a certain industry or a certain vertical. So you see that also in the space, the CRM space. Now, today, and this kind of goes hand in hand with the march towards the cloud, a lot of these CRM systems are now web-based. So I think that's a trend that we can all see. Not to say that I'm sure there's some people have self-developed CRM systems, or they have legacy CRM systems that have their own applications. But I think in general, a lot of the going forward CRM solutions are now web-based. And that also sits well, as I said previously, with this march towards the cloud. So two ways that you can integrate this, and there's probably more, but let's talk about two ways here. So you can see here, I've said web frame within the agent interface. So this bears a bit of description. So let's say we're choosing to use the contact center's interface, agent interface, and we're going to embed into that interface some elements of the CRM. So that could be done as a web frame, so within the agent's interface, or it could be a widget, or we're just going to take some information, some useful information, we're going to embed it into effectively the contact center agent interface. That's one way it could be done. Yeah, and maybe for certain scenarios, there's some merits to that. I would tend to say the reverse is maybe more interesting. So that's taking a browser, and that's what the CRM solution's using, a browser for the CRM. And then let's insert into that via an extension or a plugin, if you like. We're going to insert the contact center experience. So in this scenario, the agent is using the agent screen. The interface is largely the browser for the CRM solution. They're not leaving the CRM experience, but we're enhancing the CRM experience with an extension that's going to provide the actual contact center capabilities that we need for the integrated solution. And I'm going to, in a moment, take a walk through of an example of that. So I'll come to that in just a moment. So a lot of the vendors now are seeing the benefits that they can bring to the end customers of integrating these two systems. So you're seeing API enhancements to the CRM systems or to the contact center solutions, and that's allowing for tighter and tighter integration between the two, more functionality. So that's the technicality of it, but that's the toolbox that's bringing us a lot of the benefits in terms of productivity or in terms of agent satisfaction. These are the toolkits, the kind of things that we're using to do that. Now, the final item on this page is I'm going to call out the fact that maybe in the past there would have been bespoke. By bespoke, I mean unique, or very rarely integrated, maybe for a certain niche scenario. But there was bespoke integrations from a CRM system to a contact center solution. Perhaps that was needed for very specialized purposes. Now, I would say with the move to the cloud, the out of the box is the going forward. That's you're not tied, your hands are not tied there, because those vendors are going to continue to support that out of the box integration. It's also simpler to do, or cheaper to do, or quicker to do. So I think that the trend in the industry is to use the out of the box type integrations, more straightforward, and you're not pushed into a corner and it's difficult to customize. But maybe in certain scenarios, it's the only thing that will work. But in general, the trend is to use these out-of-the-box type integrations that are much more straightforward and will be supported going forward with additional functionality. Okay, so now let's take a walk through of a real-life example. And I should be transparent here. I said at the start, I work for VCC Live. So, I'm going to show this in the VCC Live integration between HubSpot and VCC Live. Now, this is really just to give you an example, and I'll try to highlight the points where the integration between the CRM system and the contact center system are providing benefits for you as a contact center user. So that, I want to highlight those things. But just to be transparent, I'm showing you the HubSpot and VCC Live here, just as an example. So first of all, let me turn the laser on. Hopefully this is visible to you. Okay, so the large window here, that window is the CRM system. You can see up top left, that's the HubSpot logo. So it happens to be HubSpot in this case, but it doesn't matter. This is the CRM system sitting in a browser. So in high level, the agent is looking at the CRM system. Maybe they spend a lot of their time during the day using the CRM system. They're very familiar with it, and that's the interface that they're maybe using the most. So in this scenario, we're going to use an extension, a browser extension, to expose the necessary contact center capabilities through this smaller part of screen real estate. So we don't want to take up too much space, but we do have to expose appropriate capabilities from the contact center to the agents using it. Now, how are we going to do that? We're going to install a plugin. That's a relatively straightforward way to do it. It's not a time-consuming or full of effort. So that's how we're going to install a plugin into the browser and then integrate that with the CRM system. Now, I should say that you can make this extension disappear at any time because it's hidden behind this icon in this case. So if you click that, you can just make it disappear into the background. It's still running, still functioning, but at that point, you're not consuming any screen or real estate for the agent. It would be entirely a CRM experience, and then we can pop it up at the right moment, or the agent themselves can select it and bring it up if they want to do it that way. Now, what's the first thing that the agent's going to want to do? They're going to want to log into a project. Now, a project is a workflow. This is just a terminology, so we're all right on the terminology here. The project may be like a workflow or a skill or a campaign, what they're working on. So they're going to, in this case, they're going to log in to this web shop customer service project. So they're picking that inside this little extension, and they then go about their business doing their normal work within their CRM system. So just as normal, they're using the CRM system, and as I mentioned, you can hide the extension here for the contact center or leave it visible as it suits the agent. And if the agent is using the CRM system, then let's say they come to a certain page, a company page, and they realize they want to call this company. Well, of course, it's a fundamental capability that we should have is click to call. So that's obviously there. They click on the call icon in the CRM system. We see a selection of numbers available. The agent says, oh, I need to call Mr. Don Johnson here. So they click on the number and off it goes and calls. And when they do that, the actual extension will appear with the capabilities. And you'll see that in the next screenshot. So here you can see the extension has appeared, and now we're going to expose the appropriate capabilities to the agent for that point in time. So there, in this case, we're going to show them the transfer capability, hold, mute, keypad. During the call, they can set a disposition or write a note or do it after the call. We'll come to that in a moment, but we can put that onto the agent screen at the appropriate moment. Now, it's quite possible that that agent will want to transfer that call. Let's paint a scenario. The agent answers the end customer. The agent deals with the query up to a point. They then need to pass the end customer to a subject matter expert. So let's say Danny's the expert. Well, of course, I can then transfer that off to Danny, and he can, as a subject matter expert, close out on the end customer's a query. Now that could be a blind transfer, or maybe more commonly a nice attended transfer or warm transfer. So that's available. All right. Now, after the call's over, the agent, naturally enough, maybe you can see it's small text, but at the top in the bar, after work. The agent's in after work mode. So the agent needs to set a call outcome, a disposition. So that's just as normal, you know, that as it would be in the contact center. You can then set the disposition within the extension in this example. Now, you probably have a whole business flow in the contact center of things that happen at certain times. So maybe the setting of this disposition triggers emails to be sent or SMSs to be sent, or there is a programmatic interface to another business application, and we automatically push information into an additional business application. So that can all be done as normal. So a common disposition is a callback disposition. So let's say you're talking to the end customer says, I love this solution or this product, but I can't talk to you right now. can we speak at 4 o'clock? So you schedule a call back, naturally enough. So here you can see we've set the disposition as callback in the extension. We're going to give it a date and time and write a note if that's appropriate. And then we save it. Now, the point on this slide is this is highlighting the integration between the two. The repository of all knowledge about customers, their history, all that is the CRM system. So we're going to store that. We're going to map that data that's been collected, in this case, at disposition. We're going to map that, excuse me. Apologies. Map that data into the CRM system. So you can see the call is logged. We know that it's a callback. We collect all that detail and map it into the CRM system. So that is highlighting the integration between the two systems. Even more so, if that call was recorded, we could make that recording available in the CRM system. Because our starting point here was this agent largely uses the CRM system, maybe uses it all day long, and that's the font of all knowledge about the customers. So we're going to make use of that in the best way possible and integrate all that good information into one place, that central repository, the CRM system. Now let's turn to an inbound call. So in this case, we've got a call coming in. You can see it's ringing. You can see some details. But we should say that, like Danny mentioned earlier, you've got all kinds of other things that have happened, and they're happening as normal. There's an IVR. We collect information. We provide information. We do skills-based routing. We do whatever we do. That's all taking place as well as normal. This is the agent's interface experience here. So they see this incoming call in this example. It's ringing. They can see who it's coming from, and they can see the project. So, what are they calling about? It gives us some information on that and what queue it's going to. Now, if the agent chooses to answer this call, which they would, then we're going to, through the integration between the two systems, assuming we recognize this number, we're going to open that contact record inside the CRM, saving time for the agent, making the agent's life easier, putting the right information on the right screen at the right time. If the number is not recognized, well, then let's maybe open up a new contact page and start collecting that data. So we can do that as well. Now, if the agent wants to take a break, which is quite common, of course, in the contact center space, so they want to take a break, or they're going on training. In this example, they click the bar, they can then select what they want. Let's select training, and then that will be reflected. That's, of course, reflected through the contact center reporting as well. That's all that information is being collected in the contact center software. Now, the agent's on the break. Maybe we allow them to make calls, outbound calls during a break or not. That could be a decision made by the business. But the supervisors have all the usual tools. They're sitting using their usual tools that they're using in the contact center as supervisors, and they can see this agent's on a break. They can see that this agent's approaching the end of that break or has exceeded it. What are we going to do about it? Communicate with the agent, ask them to get back in, or change their status, or do whatever we do. All those tools that the supervisors would normally use, they're all still available to them. Now let's turn to the outbound aspect, because this can be used in the outbound part of the business as well, or a mixture of the two also. But in this case, let's just deal with a single outbound campaign. So this is called new sales opportunity, if you can read it, and it says predictive in tiny text there. So this is a predictive outbound campaign. The agent has either been indicated that they should join this, or they've decided at a certain time they're going to join this. So off they go, they click that, and they continue. And we're going to use this predictive dialer. So on the next screen, you can see, this is a predictive dialing campaign. We have records in the campaign. Those records are to be called. So, hey presto, off it goes and starts dialing the numbers. What you would expect the predictive dialer to do. Now, if the end customer chooses to answer this, then of course, again, through the integration, we'll open the correct customer record on the screen, or if it's somehow, for some reason, a new customer, we'll open the new customer record. So again, saving time for the agent, improving the agent. They don't have to go fiddling and searching for certain records. It's done for them. We'll recognize the number. If we have the details on that, then let's put that in front of the agent automatically. So all those sophisticated outbound capabilities are now available to you through this CRM integrated contact center solution. So we're on to the final slide now, and Danny will join me here and we'll make a few comments. But I would just say that through the integration of this, you can save agent time. You can like as Danny mentioned, you can keep the agent's focus, reduce the distraction. It's sometimes referred to as context shifting. You want them to be focused on what they have to do, and we can do that by integrating the two and perhaps keeping largely the CRM system on the agent's screen. Anything you'd like to call out on this slide, Danny?
And of course, thank you, Kevin. And of course, if you provide a much comfortable space for your agents, their satisfaction, because we all know that working as an agent can be really stressful, and the stress can be higher if you have to work in different tools, different applications, different tool for a call, different tool for emailing, different tool for SMS. And also, if they are satisfied, your clients can hear that when they are communicating with your agents. So your productivity can go or should go higher or should increase with this. And also because the agents can handle a case much quicker, your productivity, because of this, your productivity again should increase.
So I think there'll be a lot of competitors in this space. Maybe doing a similar function to you in the contact center space, and they are doing this type of integration, and they are maybe seeing the advantages, those productivity advantages, seeing that the benefits of that, or maybe it reflects in reduced agent churn because it's a more satisfying experience or a less disruptive. So that there are other aspects that can be considered here, and competitors. Like in this space, I mentioned it at the start, we're always searching for ways to improve efficiency and productivity in the contact center. And we got all the KPIs to measure this, so you'll know from before and after whether it's really making a difference in your business. So any final comments, Danny?
Just the customer data and history, just really a small insight that, of course, if you provide much more personalized client handling, then it can also give you an increasement in your productivity, because the customers feel like that they are more important to you, and they stick to you much more longer.
Yep. Yes, indeed. Okay. Well, if you've got any questions, please do feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you about it. So, don't be shy. Reach out. Here's all the contact details, LinkedIn, whatever suits you the best. Reach out to us and let's have a discussion around this. So thank you from me. Thank you for your time, everyone.
Thank you for your time and have a great day. I hope to see you soon.
Thank you and bye.